Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today we're doing a vocabulary lesson and the subject is raise or rise. So raise and rise are both verbs and they are confusing because the spelling, pronunciation and meaning are similar. Quickly let's look at the pronunciation. So raise, here is the pronunciation, raise, raise, and this is rise, rise. Okay, so it's similar, but there is a difference. Okay, raise and rise. And look at the spelling as well. The spelling is different. Here it is R-A-I-S-E, and here there is no letter A. It is R-I-S-E. Okay, raise and rise. Now let's look at the meaning. Okay, so for the meaning again is very similar. Both raise and rise describe an upward movement. So something is moving up, upwards. Okay? Example. He is raising his arms. He is raising his arms. Okay, so he is moving his arms upwards, raising his arms. And smoke is rising. Smoke is rising. So smoke is moving upwards. Okay, so you can see that for both of them, the idea, the concept is the same. It is upward movement. However, now this is the important part. There is an important difference between this and this. Can you see the difference? It is a grammar difference, but it is very important and it determines how we can use these verbs. Can you see the difference? Well, raise has a direct object. Has a direct object. So this is the verb, and this, his arms, is the object, the direct object of the verb. So we raise something. We always raise something, and the something is the direct object. So this means, by definition, since raise has a direct object, this means that raise is a transitive verb. There are two types of verb, transitive and intransitive. And a transitive verb is a verb that must have a direct object. Now rise does not have a direct object. You can see here, there is no object of the verb rise. Something is rising, but we don't say we are rising something. No, we do not say he is rising something. No, something is rising. Okay? So it does not have a direct object. Therefore, rise is an intransitive verb. And this is just a very fancy way of saying there is no direct object. Another example of an intransitive verb would be I am running, for example. I am running. Okay? So I am running, there's no object there. I'm just simply running. Okay? For a more detailed lesson about the difference between transitive and intransitive verbs, there is another video on my channel. The link is on the screen now, and it is also in the description of this video. But for this video, just understand that raise always has a direct object, and in this video it will be in blue, and rise does not have a direct object. Okay, that's the big difference. Also, there is a difference in form. Raise is regular. It's a regular verb. So the syntax and the form is regular. So the base form is raise. Here is the pronunciation, raise. The past form is raised, raised, and the past participle is also raised. So this is regular, this is regular. So nothing new here. So an example. So this gentleman here, this man, we say that he raises the flag every morning. He raises the flag every morning. Okay, so we use the base form in the present simple. This is the present simple, third person singular. Raises the flag every morning. And notice in blue, this is the direct object. What does he raise? He raises the flag. The past form, he raised the flag yesterday. So now we're talking about the past. He raised the flag yesterday. And we are using the past simple form, raised. And the past participle is also raised. We use the past participle, for example, in the present perfect tense. So here we have the present perfect. He has raised the flag. Okay, and in all cases, we have the direct object in blue. What did he raise? He raised the flag. Rise, on the other hand, is an irregular verb. Okay, so this does not follow the normal rules for the form. So the base form is rise, rise. Now the past form, this is where it gets a little bit different, a bit more complicated. The past form is rose, R-O-S-E, rose. Same spelling and the same pronunciation as the flower, rose. But flower is a noun, and this is the past form of a verb. And the past participle is risen, risen, R-I-S-E-N, risen. So you can see each form is very, very different. So let's look at an example. The sun rises every morning. The sun rises every morning. So here we're using the present simple, which uses the base form. So we have the sun rises every morning. And notice that there is no direct object here. Okay, we don't say the sun rises something. No, the sun rises. Something rises. And the past form is rose. Yesterday, the sun rose at 7 a.m. Okay? So this means that the sun came up. And the upward movement of the sun yesterday at 7 a.m. Rose. And finally, let's use the past participle and let's use the present perfect. The sun has risen. The sun has risen. And again, there's no object here, or here, or here, because we do not need an object, because this is an intransitive verb. Let's look at some more examples of raise, and then we will look at more examples of rise. So more examples of raise. The government raised taxes in 2017. Okay, raised taxes in 2017. So this means that they increased the amount of taxes, the level of taxes in 2017. So 2017 is in the past, so we use the past simple form, and we always have a direct object with the verb raise. What did the government raise? They raised taxes. And at a party, we often hear the following expression. Let's raise our glasses to something or someone. Let's raise our glasses. So this is the action, raising. Here they are all raising their glasses. Okay, so he is raising his glass. He is raising his glass. Okay, and so we do it to honor someone or something, to celebrate something. So an example here, perhaps they are saying, let's raise our glasses to a successful year. So this is the something. To a successful year. So you often hear this on New Year's Day, for example, or New Year's Eve, at the beginning of a new year. Let's raise our glasses to a successful year. Or maybe at the end of a successful year. You've had a good year at work and you want to celebrate it. Okay, so you're celebrating a successful year. Or we can say, let's raise our glasses to David. So maybe it is David's birthday. Or maybe David is leaving the company and he's moving to London. So you want to wish David good luck. Okay, you often hear this at a wedding. At a wedding, the best man will stand up and say to everyone, let's raise our glasses to the bride and groom. Okay? And again, this is the direct object of raise. We always raise something. Now, let's look at some more examples of rise. The share price is rising. So this means that the share price is increasing. It's going up. Okay? And again, there's no direct object here. Something rises, but we don't say something is rising something. There's no something after the rise. And here is a common question. What time did you rise this morning? What time did you rise this morning? So this is another way of asking, what time did you get up this morning? So to rise in the morning means to get up in the morning. And notice we're saying did. So this question is in the past simple tense, past simple, because we're saying did. So the answer will also be in the past simple. And can you remember what the past simple tense form of rise is? Remember, it is irregular. Well, David replies, I rose at 6:45 a.m. So I rose at 6:45 a.m. Past simple form of rise. Okay, so this means I got up at 6:45 a.m. And poor David, he looks exhausted. So there are also a few expressions with raise. There are a lot more expressions with raise, so I won't mention the ones with rise, but there are a few very good expressions with raise. So let's look at them. To raise a child. And this means to look after a child until it is an adult. So Jane and Mark are raising two children. Or raising two children. Okay? And again here, raise. What are they raising? Or who are they raising? They are raising two children. So this is the direct object of raise. Child is the singular if you have one child, and children is the plural. This is a very, very good one. To raise one's voice. So this means to speak more loudly. And if you raise your voice a lot, it means you are shouting. So Mark raises his voice when he is angry. So here he looks very angry and he's on the phone and he is raising his voice. Okay, so he raises his voice when he is angry. Here we are using the present simple, third person singular, to describe a regular action. So this must mean that every time he is angry, Mark raises his voice. What does he raise? His voice. This is the direct object. And finally, one last very good expression with raise. To raise an eyebrow. Raise an eyebrow. So what is an eyebrow? Well, it's part of the human body and it's on the face. So here it's the hair that is just above, the line of hair that is just above each eye. So this is one eyebrow and this is another eyebrow. So can you guess what this means? This is a figurative expression. It doesn't necessarily mean you physically move your eyebrow. but it means to express surprise or doubt. So if someone says something and you are surprised, or you don't really believe what they're saying, then you say, I raised an eyebrow. So here is an example. Sarah raised an eyebrow when I told her I want to travel the world. Okay, so this means that Sarah, yeah, she's surprised and she probably doesn't even believe that I'm telling the truth. She probably doesn't believe that I'm going to really do it. Okay, so she's surprised, a little bit shocked. Okay, here the expression is in the singular, raise an eyebrow. But we can also say raised his eyebrows. We can also put it in the plural sometimes. Okay, Sarah raised her eyebrows when I told her I want to travel the world. But I think this is slightly more common. Raised an eyebrow. You just move one eyebrow up. But again, it is figurative. It doesn't necessarily mean that you move your eyebrows. It just means that your face expression, your facial expression is showing surprise and doubt. Okay? So that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you are preparing for the IELTS exam, then click here for information about our course. And here are some other videos that I recommend.